Welcome back to another coffee and a chat. And today, let's have a heart to heart. So, I've said before, it's hard to be Noah when it hasn't rained. In other words, it's hard to be, telling people, hey, these things are coming. And people are going, doesn't look like it to me. Everything seems fine to me. Times are a little tough right now, but it'll get better. It's not getting better. And I know a lot of people have figured that out. And I think have succumbed to the understanding that it's not going to go back to the way it was, that every day actually is proving to create a new normal. And financially, people are struggling. So I know Marvin and I, we have our struggle. This morning we were talking because we're going through some stuff. And, and it's like, why, Lord, what is going on? Have we done something wrong? Are we being punished? And Marvin was kind of, Angie, this is life. Sometimes these things happen, and things break down and you got to fix them, or they wear out and you got to replace them, or prices go up and you've got to figure out what you're still going to get and what you're going to let go of. And we knew, we've been kind of in it for a while, but we've known it was coming. We know it's going to get worse. We're surrounded by people that haven't believed us. And now some of them, I even had somebody tell me this week that, I've thought a lot of the stuff you said was crazy. And I just thought, she's just little. Except for now they're going, and now it's hit my home. Now I can't, and this is a person that they make good money and they've been financially very comfortable for a long time. And so they're now like going, yeah, it's not so comfortable anymore. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to survive. Never would have thought that. And they're overwhelmed. I hear ya. I'm overwhelmed too. And I have to keep going back to the Lord and that's what Marvin was saying this morning is, right now, because we got a bunch of stuff happening at once, and it's not just breaking down, but we've got some family members that are having some pretty severe needs, and we may be having... Our family may be expanding. There may be a reason why God still has us in a home that I think is way too big for us. But it's starting to feel smaller because we're setting up. I'm in the process of setting up. I've got a guest room, but I'm in the process of setting up 2 other bedrooms because I think they're going to be occupied on a full-time regular basis. And that guest room may even turn into a full-time room. I don't know. We've got one more room we could give up to be a bedroom. We could actually, I don't know how, but if we had to, Marvin and I could find a way to move into the office and give up our bedroom if we had to. It's at that point. And that's what you do, when the only way, and I've said this for a long time. My daughter, one of my daughters, I was talking to her this week, and she said, yeah, Mom, I think sometimes some of the things you say are maybe a little out there, but this whole thing about family having to come together and live together to survive like they did, in the Great Depression 100 years ago, I'm starting to think you might be onto something there. She does believe that because she's seeing it. The need, and I mean, Marvin and I need help, so just taking care of everything and keeping things going, trying to do everything that we've got to do in a day is really becoming more and more of a struggle for us, simply because of our age, and we can't do what we used to do, and we're slowing down, and it would help to have some help, and the different family members that are probably going to be coming, quite possibly coming. They are capable of helping out on those things. financially capable of helping out? No, probably not. But if they helped us out with different things around here, it would help us with our business so that we could actually be bringing in, I think, more money with their help. So in that way, yeah. And that's just what it comes down to, because it's not like Marvin and I are trying to make money because we want to go on a dream vacation or build us a new house or buy a new car. No, we're just trying to survive. And anybody that's under this roof with us, we're trying to help them survive too. So I think we quite possibly have some big changes coming, and I have to trust God, because I sit and I go, how do we make that work? I don't know, but it's funny, because the one bedroom, the Lord had told me this a ways back, that it was my sewing room. I'd never had a sewing room before. I can't tell you how wonderful it was to have a sewing room. And then the Lord said, okay, you got to move your sewing room out of here. This needs to be made into a bedroom. And I'm like, why? And so I was thinking, well, it's because, there'll be people coming to stay or something, for like a visit short term. And instead, it's become a bedroom for one of our kids. That I'm not going to have my kid live on the street, no. So, and that's a possibility. So they already are here part-time, and they may need to come full-time, and that's okay. Actually, it's fine. And we got another one that used to be here part-time that may need to come full-time, a grandson. It's okay. God will work it out. This is what you do. And I do believe they both have done the best they can do for themselves. It's not like they just don't care and they just think that we're supposed to take care of them. It's not like that at all. Life is hard. Times are hard. And things that were available to them before aren't now. And it's just one of those things. And then there's some other possibilities. So whatever it's going to be, I don't know. Nobody's here full time yet, so don't know for sure, but God keeps moving us in the direction of getting ready. Okay, all this because I want you to feel sorry for me. Now, please don't feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for Marvin and I just feel blessed that we have a relationship with God, and that we can go to Him, and that we know that even where we're not capable, He is, and He takes care of things, and He always has, He always will. And it's maybe not always the way we want it to be, but it's enough. And God's been telling me to learn to live without electricity, to not add things that take electricity or batteries. So wherever I can find a way to do something so it's just completely manual, run by our power of our bodies, that's the way we're doing it. And I'm understanding more and more why He has been telling us to do that. But even when I don't understand, when He says to do something, I need to do it. Now, are Marvin and I always happy, laughing, and just joyous about this? No. Nope. Sometimes we are just so overwhelmed. There are times when I just start crying. But then that seems to relieve some of the tension. And then I'm like, Lord, I don't know how. I don't know when. But I know You are going to get us through this. And I know You have not. None of these pressures that are happening are affecting You as God. You still have all your resources, and you still have all your strength, all your knowledge, all your wisdom, all your abilities. You're still God. You haven't stopped being our provider. You haven't stopped being our healer. You haven't stopped seeing us. You haven't stopped hearing us. No. God is unchanging. No matter what goes on in this world, God still remains the same. Ah, thank goodness. So today I wanted to just come on and say life gets real. I was reading the comments, going through the comments this morning, and Nana Banana, how awesome a name is that? Nana Banana asked for prayer in the comments. And I want you to know, Nana Banana, I immediately, because it was sitting right next to me, picked up my prayer journal and I put you down in there. You are in my prayer journal, along with a bunch of other subscribers. Anybody, and people that aren't subscribers, anybody that asks for prayer, I put you in my prayer journal. And you will be there for a minimum of 40 days. Because, see, the number 40 is the number of birthing. And I believe God will birth something into your life. And at the end of 40 days, sometimes he says, go another 40. So I do. And you will be in that prayer journal a minimum of 40 days, but you'll be there as long as the Lord lays it on my heart to keep you there. And I don't just say this, and I will be praying for you each day. I sometimes when there's nobody around, I walk through the house and just pace and talk to the Lord, and I love those times, actually. Those are some of my favorite times of praying. It's hard for me to sit still when God starts moving. And I believe he's moving on your behalf, Nana Banana. Yeah. Man, you've got to be like this awesome, fun person. That's all I can think. Anyway, and there have been others, but that's the one that I saw so far this morning. And you guys look through the comments and see, the different ones. I can't think of her name right now. She's in my prayer journal. But this was a ways back that put in that she's facing homelessness. And I wish I could just fix everything for everybody. But then you wouldn't need God, would you? And I wouldn't make a very good God at all. So, I do what I can, where I can, when I can. And the rest, I'm leaving it in God's hands. And I can't help everybody, but I can pray for everybody who asks for prayer. That I can do. And that is the greatest thing I can do anyway, because then we're touching the heart of the one who can really meet your needs, whatever they are. So today I just wanted to just give you a word of encouragement that even though, because I know more and more people, the whole, hard to be Noah when it hasn't rained thing. Yeah, well, now it's raining and people are like going, oh yeah, maybe we should be listening to what Noah had to say. And it's hard. It's hitting some people really hard. I've talked to a couple of people this week that they're being hit really hard and they don't know how to adjust to that. They're not used to not being very comfortable. And now they're not. And even with all the money they make, and they make good money, it's not enough to meet their basic needs. Of course, some of those basic needs we find are really wants that we've been hanging on to and we have to let go of. Marvin and I let go of one of our dreams this week because other than a miracle of God, it's never, it's not going to happen. And so we don't need to focus any energy on it. It was just a wish thing. It's no big deal. And, I don't know. I think it's become easy for us to let things go. We get to a point where we think there's nothing else to let go of, and then the Lord shows us something there is. And so, we are becoming more and more dependent on the Lord. You are most likely going to need, if you aren't already, some of you already are, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But there are some of you that are going to need to become more and more dependent on the Lord. And it may not always look the way you want it to look. It may not always be what you want it to be. But let me tell you, it will be enough. And it will be awesome. And I've been financially very comfortable at different points in my life. And I've said this to you guys before too. I wouldn't go back to that for anything. I'd rather be right where I'm at, having to depend on the Lord for everything, because there's something freeing about it. But also it changes who I am as a person when I'm able to just do whatever I need to do and take care of it and not worry about it. That is not a person. I mean, even though I felt close to God and I wasn't a bad person, I'm so much closer to Him, maybe out of necessity. Maybe that's it, when I'm living this way. I don't want to go back to being homeless. Been there before too. Don't want to go back there. But if I have to, then I do, because God took care of us. I wasn't homeless alone. I had 3 kids and a husband and a stinky old dog. And not this husband. It was the first husband. Hear me, Marvin? I'm clarifying it. Poor Marvin, one day, this was a ways back, things were looking rough, and we were at a point, can we make the house payment? And if we lost the house, where would we go? What would we do? Because, at that point, it's like we would be homeless. And bless my husband's heart, he looked at me with sincerity and love. Well, honey, then you're going to have to help me and teach me, because I've never been homeless before. You'll have to teach me how to be homeless. And I was like, oh, well, we're just going to trust that God's not going to have us have to go back there. I don't know. I love my husband. I am so blessed. Yeah, I may not have a fancy house and a manicured yard. I may not have brand new cars sitting in my driveway. My clothes may be from thrift stores and getting some of them wearing out and getting ratty and needing to be replaced. And I won't even show you my sandals, because Marvin's like, you've got to get something different than those things. They're barely hanging in there, but if I have to run some duct tape on them, whatever. I'm a survivor. Yeah, I may not live to the standards that I used to, or that a lot of people would want, but I don't care. I am content to have what the Lord provides for me. That's it. Yeah, He has to provide when it comes to shoes anyway, because I have abnormal feet that are very challenging to put shoes on. I can't just go get whatever. And funny enough, Marvin has the same issues. So when it comes to it, I know one Christmas our grandson had a job, and so he wanted to buy us each a new pair of shoes, and he was so excited. So he just wanted to know the size, and and it's like, that doesn't work for for us, because we can tell you the size, and then the odds are that shoe won't work on our foot anyway. There's other concerns, and it's okay. God's got us. He takes care of it. So I got a pair of earrings instead of a pair of shoes. And the earrings, I think, meant more, because the story that went with them of what my grandson went through to get the really good earrings, something really nice for his grandma. And he went to a jewelry store to do it, and oh my word, bless his heart. I don't know. I remember when I was able to buy my first grown-up gifts for people, when I wasn't, buying them candy bars or bubble gum or something for their birthdays or Christmas or whatever. But I remember the first time I went out and I had real money, because I had a job, and I bought grown-up presents, and I think I have it now, because my mom kept it, and when she passed away, then I had it, and I think I just not sure where I put it right now, but I bought her this beautiful glass salad dish or salad bowl, with the fancy tongs and everything, and it just reminded me of my mom when I saw it. It was beautiful. It was something fancier than what she had, and it cost like $20, which was a lot of money back in the 70s, trust me. And I was just so excited. I couldn't wait for her to open that gift. It was the first grown-up gift I had ever bought. And even my mom was shocked when, she loved it. Obviously, she kept it till the day she died. But she was like, you bought this for me, and she's like, I couldn't even afford to go out and get this for me. And it was just like, oh, that made me so happy. Well, the year that my grandson gave me those earrings, and I can't remember what he got his grandpa, what he got for Marvin, but Marvin, I'm sure, can tell you. But I remember those earrings. I will always cherish those earrings. And I had told Marvin later, see, this is the first grown-up gifts that he's ever given us. Because before it would be, like he got us a candy bar or something, he was still a little kid. But now it's like he's growing up, and he had a little job and some money that he'd made. And so he went in like the big man into the jewelry store, and so the lady's like, are you getting, he goes, she asked me, I was like, getting it for my girlfriend? I'm like, no, it's for my grandma, or my mom, sorry, East Coast language, my mom. And anyway, it was just so incredibly precious. And I know where those earrings are. They're right next to my side of the bed. They have a very special place that they sit, and they're going to be moved into, I'm going to move some stuff into my mom's old jewelry box, so they'll be even safer. But yeah, I will to the day I die. Even though my ears I can't always get them in because my ears have been growing shut because I don't wear jewelry like I used to. But whether I can get them in my ears or not, I will always cherish those earrings because it was the giver more than the gift. Yeah. All right. I just want to encourage you today that whatever you're going through, whatever feels overwhelming and too much, I know everybody says just give it to God, and that sounds so easy. It's not easy. But go to Him with it. Tell Him. We cast our cares upon Him. I think that's talking to Him about it and saying, here, Lord, this is what I'm dealing with, and it's too much. Because guys, we're only getting started. We're only getting started. It's going to get harder. So again, as I did a series on the 7 things that I think it's the Wake Up series. Go back and look in my videos and find that series. There's 8 videos in it because it's about when God told me that it's time for his people to wake up, not be woke, but wake up. And then 7 changes He told me that I needed to implement in my life. And I tell you, I believe you need to too. We all need to. It makes a big difference. And I'm still working on them. I think I've gotten life as simple as I can get it. And then God shows me a way to make it more simple. You hit a new season. He's like, okay, now this has to go. Now this is what I want you to do. So my life now is more focused on just serving the Lord wherever and however I can, wherever He opens a door, even if it's just a moment with someone at the grocery store, seeing those opportunities and grasping hold of them, helping where I can help, and surviving, planting some food so that we'll have something to eat that's healthy. Even if it's just a little bit, I would, I have, when I can, I make sure my canner's full. Okay. But one day I had some beans to can, or was it beans or peas or something like that to can. And I only had enough carrots to do 1 jar of carrots. So that I did can that 1 jar of carrots rather than lose the carrots. And I know what, you just eat the carrots now, but maybe it was just a lesson in don't be afraid to just can 1 jar if that's all you've got, so that to put it back. But I did that. I've got some stuff right now that I'm trying to figure out if it's even worth, if it's salvageable. And I try to preserve, whether I'm canning it or drying it or freezing it or whatever. And I'm trying to get away from using the freezer, because if electricity goes out, and it does go out at times, I can lose all the food in the freezer. And most of the things in my freezer can be put in jars and canned and put on the shelf. So It's a lot of work, but maybe I'll have some other people here to help me do that work, and then it'll be more of a joy. I do know our one daughter was here one day when I was doing some canning, and Marvin was like, I need you to come out and help him with something. So I'm like going, okay, I need you to watch this canner. If it catches on fire, turn it off. Come get me, or if it blows up, leave the house and get the dogs out. I don't know, but or just sit and just watch it. But yeah, anyway, I was able to walk out of the house and be at peace for about 10 minutes to do what Marvin needed me to do, which she couldn't do, but she could watch a canner. Yep, we need to work together, need to help each other. All right, this has gone too long. I've probably rambled too much, and I've got things to do. No places to go and no people to see, but I got things to do. All right, I love you guys. I hope you're having an awesome day. Pick up your Bible, read it today. Read something in the Word of God today. Take some time to sit down alone and just talk to the Lord. And if you are having anxieties and being overwhelmed, if you've got some concerns or whatever is going on in your life, even if you're just thrilled about something that's happened, sit down and talk to the Lord about it. Build that relationship with Him. See, those two things I can guarantee you are going to help you through whatever is coming your way. And I promise you, be in the Word and talk to the Lord. Build your relationship with Him. All right, I love you. Talk to you soon.